We hope you got insurance because you're bound to get a few nicks and scratches on these tracks. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 hardest race tracks in video games. For this list, we're looking at courses that are tricky or downright super hard to master. Those that, may just smash your controllers in frustration as you struggled for first place. Number 10, Fujimi Kaido, Forza Motorsport 3. If the crazy sharp turns weren't enough, here a player must master braking, accelerating, cornering, and weight control in order to efficiently finish this racetrack. Fujimi Kaido is set in the fictional town of Fujimi. The track has an immense amount of crazy turns that are difficult to do without smashing into a guardrail or a lamppost. Mountainous roads in Japan inspired the design of this track, and the scenery here is quite breathtaking. Take a spin on this road if you want to have a challenging drift session or just a sweat-inducingly tough race. Number 9, Race of Ages, Sonic and All-Stars Transformed.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go! 3.
Here we join our favorite Speedy Hedgehog in an intense race through a futuristic city. In Race of Ages, the visual aesthetic is captivating, through its neon colors to the different holograms that float alongside the road. Don't let the visuals distract you though. It is a challenging track that has very narrow roads, insanely sharp turns, and no barriers to safeguard you from falling.
Evaded swarm!
This track was designed as a way to show appreciation for Sega characters that were not featured in the game. On this course, you are sometimes granted the ability to drive a jet ski or just a plain jet. But whether you're racing through the skies or through the flooded city, this track will keep you on your toes.
You did it! First place!
Number 8, Autumn Crossing, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. You'll immediately notice that this track is crowded, so we hope you aren't looking forward to a leisurely cruise. It's set in a mountainous area at sunrise, so the environment becomes brighter as the race progresses. This being a hot pursuit game, having the cops on your tail to deal with on top of all the twists and turns makes for quite a challenge ahead.
54, 31, I'm on it.
The in-game difficulty level of this track is rightfully ranked as Expert, since it is so tricky to stay on the road without hitting anything. If you're looking for a race within this game that will test your agility and coordination, then this is the one for you. Number 7, Nile Adventure, Hydro Thunder.
3, 2, 1.
This is one of the bonus tracks in Hydro Thunder and is the only non-circuit course in the game. It's filled with sharp twists and turns as well as narrow passageways, which makes it very difficult to not crash into walls. The course contains constant speed boosts, which are necessary to keep up, but also make it more difficult to control your boat. If that wasn't enough, the track is also distracting, as there are falling statues, booby-trapped doorways, and even a giant Cyclops monster. If that sounds like a challenge you're down for, then be sure to bring your pleasure craft license and get ready for an adventure.
Great time. You placed 4.
Number 6, Planet X, Galaxy 5000. Galaxy 5000 welcomes you to racing in the 51st century, a cutthroat future where Pluto is still a planet. After beating each planet in the solar system, you were declared the greatest racer of your species and taken beyond to Planet X. This track has its racers jump from platform to platform and risk falling into the depths of space. I don't think space works that way, but whatever. Planet X is riddled with foreign obstacles, alien monsters, and stationary turrets, not to mention your aggressively competitive fellow racers. Altogether, these elements make Planet X a difficult and satisfying finish to this space racer. Manage to conquer Planet X and you are a true champion of all humankind. We here at WatchMojo will salute you. Number 5, Abyss, Star Wars Episode 1, Racer. It's fairly agreeable that the highlight of Star Wars Episode 1, the film, was the pod racing, so it's really only natural to make a racer based on the film. Abyss is a winding track placed high in the sky. There are several areas where your pod can fly off the track, so for this course, you'll want to choose a pod with great traction and turning stats. Boosting is also important, but you have to be especially careful here to not overheat your engine, because as you probably know, it can burst into flames. Be mindful of every decision and use the force to get in first place. Hey, hopefully your midichlorians are off the scale. Number 4, Hot Air Skyway, Crash Team Racing. This track takes place completely in the sky and has moments where, stop me if you've heard this one, it is very easy for a player to fall due to its gaps and sharp turns. Throughout this course, a player must have incredible coordination and reaction time due to the fact that there are 2 large jumps. Unfortunately, not making the jumps would be detrimental to the outcome of the race, as I'm sure you know. What's more, there are several shortcuts on this track that the player can discover that might make it a little more bearable. However, they still require incredible agility and speed to properly execute. With this track, you can race with the speed of a Bandicoot, but just be careful not to crash. I'm sorry. Number 3, Città d'Aria, Gran Turismo 4. Set in the Italian city of Assisi, this track has incredibly narrow roads that make it very difficult for the player to not chip their paint. This means that in order to master the track, you must be able to quickly perform sharp turns while also maintaining your speed. If that wasn't difficult enough, controlling your vehicle is also difficult to master due to the fact that understeering and oversteering can both royally mess you up. You gotta be quick on the brake and quick on the gas to ensure that you receive no penalties or to avoid falling behind. When starting this race, get ready to pay close attention to your surroundings and make every move count. Number 2, Rainbow Road, Super Mario Kart. Whether you're racing as a lightweight Toad or a heavy Bowser, this track is sure to show you a challenging time. It is the SNES version of Rainbow Road and has become an infamous track for Nintendo lovers since it's returned in almost every Mario Kart game, if not all of them. What makes it so crazy is the 90-degree turns and lack of guardrails, of course, which will cause you to fall off the track. Due to this, a player must master their agility and swiftness when racing to first place. What's more, there are thwomps scattered throughout the race, which can be difficult to dodge as they crush you. There have been multiple Rainbow Road tracks throughout the years, yet the original is still probably the toughest. Before we reveal our top pick, let's have a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1, Cosmo Terminal, F-Zero GX. Get ready for chaos. While the entire F-Zero series has no shortage of challenging courses, it is GX that pushed the experience even farther. Although it was tough to pick just one track from this notoriously difficult game, we went with the first course in GX's Diamond Cup. As you race, you are constantly forced to quickly decide between 3 narrow tracks that, of course, have no guardrails, making it nearly impossible to not fall at least once. You constantly feel like you're spiraling out of control, and you definitely have to play it several times to really get a grasp of what's even going on. In true F-Zero fashion, there are also some insane jumps that you gotta make too, just in case you didn't have enough chances to lose. Even watching someone else race on this track can be a very stressful experience, and due to this, Cosmo Terminal takes our number 1 spot for this list. Do you agree with our list? In your opinion, what's the most difficult racetrack featured in video games? For more intriguing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.